Welcome back, savages, to another video. Today's video is for all you old school Planet Watchers out there. So back in the day, PlanetWatch released this Type 2 sensor called a Turtle. Now, as you may know, PlanetWatch is no more and Ambient have taken over operations and the network. So just to give you a bit of a background on this sensor, it was solar powered, nice big solar panel on the front right here, and it was made specifically for outdoor use. And it had a built-in rechargeable battery. Now this Turtle sensor has been working flawlessly for a couple of years without fail, never missed a beat. It just basically set and forget and it just worked. And recently it started to fail. So how do we know if the battery is completely failed? Well, for starters, if you've got the Ambient app, you'll know there's big gaps in the data or there's just no data being sent from the unit. Secondly, if you switch off, just with this switch here at the bottom, and let it charge via the solar panel for a day or two, and then switch it back on and it still doesn't work, that's another telltale sign that the battery is not being charged. So once you've tried those two tests, there's a pretty good chance that you've confirmed that the battery does indeed need to be replaced. There is a third test you can do, and that is the optional charger. So when I purchased the Turtle station, I did indeed buy the optional charger to go with it, mainly for the reason that I was well aware that there was a rechargeable battery in there, and secondly, if the solar panel ever failed to charge the battery, I could use this to top up the battery very quickly. So when these two tests failed, I then plugged in the optional charger into the Turtle, left it to charge, and then took it off to see whether that would fix the battery. It didn't, so that pretty much confirms that the battery is indeed dead. These batteries are a bit like the house alarm batteries that you tend to find, and they usually have a shelf life of between 3 and 5 years when they need replacing, and it's about that time since I've actually owned the Turtle. So in this video, we're going to go ahead and replace the battery inside the Turtle. However, this will void your warranty, and here's some words from Ambient before you proceed. So what they're saying is they are aware of a lot of people trying self-repaired, mainly because they're frustrated with the device and the cost of repairs, but they just want to make it clear that if you tamper with any of it, then it's going to void the warranty, and it makes it harder to troubleshoot as well. So if you are concerned about doing this procedure, please do reach out to Ambient or TE Group first and seek their advice. So then again, I am a savage, so I'm going to crack on and try and do the repair myself. Wish me luck, let's go. So here we are at the Turtle. That's the nice big solar panel on the front, and this is what it looks like from the side. If we turn it upside down, as mentioned, I do have the charger connected to the device, and that's primarily so I can continue sending transactions back to Ambient, but this isn't a long-term solution at all. Potentially the charger could overheat because it's constantly charging a battery which will not fully charge. There's a risk of a fire as well. The battery could itself cause problems and start a fire, and to be honest, it's not really worth taking the risk. Personally speaking, the device is not meant to have a charger connected to it permanently. The charger is not rated for outdoor use, whereas the actual sensor itself is supposed to be used outdoors. It's supposed to work from the solar panel that comes integrated into it. So with those reasons stated, I'm going to go ahead, take this apart, and we're going to replace the battery. So first of all, what we do is disconnect the charger if you've got it connected. Put that to one side. Next thing we're going to do is switch the unit off, and we've got this toggle switch right here. So the toggle's off, everything's switched off. Now to take the unit apart, there's 4 screws we need to take out. One there, one there, one there, and one here on the end, which has got a sticker over it. That'll obviously void the warranty if we go in there. So we're going to take these out. The screwdriver type you need is a Phillips crosshead type like this. So we're just going to go ahead and undo these screws. Just lift this off slowly. Just be careful when you do it. There is a wire that just comes off here onto the solar panel right here, so you don't want to unplug that, so just keep that there. So effectively that's what it looks like on the inside. So you've got your circuit board right here, and you've got one of these batteries right here. So first off, we're going to take the battery terminals off. So we'll start with the positive. Okay, so that one's off. Now for the negative, we just lift this up a little bit. Okay, that's the negative cable just off right there. I'll just keep these to one side. So the next thing I'm going to take off is this GNSS module, which is stuck to the top of the battery. I'm hoping this will just prise off with as little force as possible. Yep, there we go. It's just attached to the top with a dab of glue. So we'll put that to one side right there. So now we just need to get this battery out. So we've got like a metal cover holding the battery in place here, and there's two screws here, so I'm going to take these two off. So we've got the two battery clips unscrewed right here. There's a metal bar just going over the top as well. I'm just going to pull this out like so. Just leave that over here. And now hopefully the battery, if we just pull these back a bit, should just slide out. And there we go. So this is the battery that was in there, MKC6120. The most important thing is it's rated at 6 volts and 12 amperes. So if you're going to get a replacement, that is what spec you need. This is a maintenance-free sealed lead acid battery. So if you want, I can give you the dimensions for this as well. We'll do that right now. So just remember, when you're getting the replacement battery, it must fit the right dimensions to fit in this aperture right here, otherwise you're going to have problems. So in terms of length of this battery that we just took out, it's 15 centimeters along. Height-wise, it's about 9.5. Deep, it's about 5 centimeters. So just remember that when you're ordering a replacement. So the battery we're going to be replacing it with is this one right here. It's called a Yuasa NP12-6SL. So it's rated the same as the existing one, which is 6 volts and 12 amperes. And the dimensions are pretty much the same as well. Now, funny story this, it took me 3 attempts to get a replacement battery to arrive. The first one I ordered from eBay was the same spec, but instead of sending me a Yuasa, they sent me an alternative brand, which was a much cheaper budget one, so that one went back. And the second battery I got off eBay was indeed a Yuasa, but it was an expired battery, because you can tell when you get the battery there is a date stamp at the top of the battery here. On the battery that they sent me the second time round, it actually said 2005, so it was produced in May of 2020. Now these batteries only have a shelf life of between 3 and 5 years, so the chances are they sold me a dead battery. So in the end, went with this Amazon one, and as you can see on this one, the date on this one is October 2024. I don't know whether you can see it on the camera. So make sure when you get the battery that you check the manufacture date on there as well. So that's the one we're going to go with. So let's go ahead and put this battery in. So make sure you put it in the right way around. Remember, we had the positive on the left hand side. And oh yeah, it's quite a snug fit, but it does indeed fit in there, which is nice. Next thing we're going to do is push these down and screw these back in. Okay, so that's the battery mounts back on. Next we're going to put this metal tube back in right here. There we go, so that's the tube back in. So next up we're going to put the sensor back on the battery like that, and for that I'm just going to use a glue gun. So that's the sensor glued back on top of the battery. Next thing is we just need to take off the safety clips on the battery. So now the terminal blocks for these can go back on here. So that's the negative on there. I'm just going to put the plastic sleeve over the top. Same for the positive. Now when you do positive, I did notice the terminals are slightly bigger than the clips. So if you've got a little mini screwdriver like this, you can just open up these a little bit so they go over the top. So once you've widened it a little bit, it should easily slide in. There we go. So we're going to bring the plastic protector over there again. So there we go, we've got the battery terminals connected. Everything's done on the inside. All we need to do now is put the cover back on and then screw the base back together. So there we go, our base is all screwed back on, nice and tight. So the moment of truth, I'm going to turn this around here. There's our toggle switch. Will it switch on? Let's go. 3 LEDs. It's now flashing, which means it's initializing. So when the turtle is up and picked up a connection, the second LED down should flash red, just at this interval here. Okay, so now that that's all working and connected, let's go back to the Ambient app and see what's happening there. So here we are back at the Ambient Explorer app. There's our original turtle, which said it was online about an hour ago. So I'm just going to do a quick refresh. So there we go, after a quick refresh, turtle is still showing us online, but the most important thing is this last stream date, which is saying 3 minutes ago. So it looks like it's all working with no charger connected, so we're back in business. So there you go, savages, that is how you replace a battery on a turtle outdoor weather sensor. I'll leave a link in the description to the replacement battery. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comment section below. Please like, share and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you savages on the next one.